Welcome back to the Conspiracy Outpost, Jeffery Dahmer Part 2. Last time we talked about his early life and most of his victims we got through. Then we got a few that we're going to go through today. But it should be quick. And then Mike got some deep dive he wants to do on one of these fellers, so we'll see who that is.
What?
When we get to it. What'd you say?
Have a deep dive, or you do?
You do.
On who?
I don't know. That's a mystery.
Okay, let's get to it.
It's your fucking guy. No, because on the last episode, you said, "Hey, when we get to this, when you say this guy's name, I'm gonna stop you, and I'm gonna tell you about him."
Okay.
Okay. Tell me. Anyway, I'm Casey.
I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what's going on.
No.
I'm Milwaukee Mike.
No, don't you fucking say that. Never. I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
I'm Matt.
Yeah, okay. So I don't remember where we left off, honestly.
I'm sure.
Like in the chronological order of it. I got Mike distracting because he's got that blanket wrapped around him. It reminded me of a Jedi.
Jedi.
He looks like Obi-Wan when he's about to drop some knowledge on Anakin. What's it called? What's it called? We left off on the 91 murders, his final years of his slaying. But we only got through the first two people. We got 1, 2, 3, 4,
like
5,
Santa.
6 more. But then, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But his slayings are more like Hanukkah, though, because he did it in a group. It wasn't just one night.
Oh, each night was a different fucking thing. It was a different gift he gave to the world.
Yeah. Okay, so the guy that we left off on was Tony Hughes. He was murdered May 24th, 1991 at the age of 31. He was lured by Dahmer to his apartment upon the promise of posing nude for photographs. As Hughes was deaf, he and Dahmer communicated using handwritten notes. The injection of hydrochloric acid into Hughes' skull proved fatal. His body was left on Dahmer's bedroom floor for 3 days before being dismembered, with Dahmer photographing the dismemberment process. His skull was retained and identified from dental records.
You know what's funny? We know, I don't know if Mike knows him, but we...
I might have said that one last time, but I'm not sure, but...
I think you did, because I remember wanting to bring up, we know a sick individual that would ask people to take their clothes. He asked me to take my clothes off.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did, yeah.
Massages and shit.
Oh, yeah. No, he wanted fucking, because he said he actually worked for a modeling thing on the side of his, whatever he said he did.
Dude, every time you guys tell me something that has happened during your
Are we
life...
talking about LaShuena Sachs?
Yeah, LaShuena Sachs. Yeah,
That was the agency.
he said that he was
not been murdered.
I know.
I don't know how we all were raped.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's his whole thing wasn't murder, but sexual assault. He wanted to get people drunk, and I think his whole thing was, take your clothes off. I'm just gonna take some pictures, do some measurements. Like that's just a weird ass thing. Yeah.
I just need to see if he'll fit my skin.
I don't know what his in-game to his little fucking thing was, but I assumed his thing was...
He was in it for the thrill.
See if he can get you to take your pants off, and then maybe after that it'll be like, so... I mean, the only way I can tell if you really want this gig is if I suck your dick and you like it.
Now that I got your pants off, you mind if I just tug you a little?
Just tug it a little. It's like, no, I mean, we want to see how big it gets when you're wearing Hanes underwear. I work for Hanes.
How did you guys come in contact with so many sexual predators?
I don't know.
From what we were wearing.
for what we were wearing. We
We're
wandered the streets a lot at night, and we would just hop in cars with whoever would pick us up. I don't know who the fuck introduced this motherfucker to us.
Did we
But
ever
my-
did we ever tell about how we met Demond? Me and Matthew.
No.
We traded
No,
one
we did
predator
not.
for another.
We
You guys did.
So me
Before,
and Joseph, I mean, you could tell it how you want to tell it. I was gonna say me and Joseph were fighting. We were fighting.
Oh, that's how it. Yeah.
So me and Casey went outside to cool
I
off.
drove.
Or Casey
I
took me
essentially
outside to
drove
cool off.
Matthew. I essentially drove Matthew into the
Towards
arms of a predator.
Yes, you did. So sibling fighting is not healthy. It can drive one out to seeking a predator for. So
My God.
me and Joseph fought. We went outside that, or Casey was like, "Here, let me take Matthew outside so we can cool off." So we go outside. Me and
Like,
Casey are
were you
drunk.
guys,
We're
like,
all fucking drunk,
fist
right?
fighting?
I think it got
Probably.
close.
I
Well, I
don't
don't know.
It was getting close.
It was getting close. Close
Okay,
enough.
so it was a heated argument.
Yes, and so we go outside. Me and Casey are outside, and this random dude in a fucking trench coat. I think it was a trench coat. It was a pretty big jacket.
This motherfucker looked like Blade walking up.
Yeah,
He showed up out of nowhere like the stranger from Fallout.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, I mean, I always trust people in trench coats, right? Like, what are they hiding? And then so he was asking if we knew where to find a certain thing, and eventually later on he was like meth. We're like, oh no, like whoa, no, like we don't know. But I mean, he's in the right area for it, unfortunately, where we were at. And so Casey was like, hey, you got any vodka on you or something crazy like that? And he did have vodka on him, which was weird. And so we all like did like a waterfall of it, and then he was like, hey, I'm gonna go over to, you guys want to get some beers or something? And we're like, hell yeah, we do. So my night got better, or like it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to this, and then so we walk to Jerry's, he buys some beer, we go to a Stanford school, we go to an abandoned school at night, and he's like, if you guys don't mind me just doing this, I'm just gonna do this in the corner. He gave us all the beer. So me and Casey were fucking sitting there drinking, and he's like, "Oh no! On our way up there, he was saying like, he's like, yeah. On our way up there, he's like, I ain't gay or nothing, but he's like, what do you like? He's just like talking to us and shit. He's like, I ain't gay or nothing. And then
That's a
and then
weird
we
thing
get
to
up there
say.
out of nowhere. He didn't even ask him. Like, who's talking about sexuality, bro? It's just us bros.
It's not like
You
you
guys
guys are
are
walking and
fools.
you're like, hey, are you gay? And he's like, no, I ain't gay or nothing. No, he just says it.
And then he was like in the corner doing his own thing. Me and Casey are fucking pissing and drinking and whatever. And then he's
And in the corner smoking meth.
meth. He's smoking meth in the corner. And then he tells us that he is gay. And then we're just like, oh, we don't care. Like, we don't care. You're a cool ass guy. Like, we don't, like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who
And
cares? You gay, you smoke meth, and you buy us alcohol. Good.
yeah,
for you,
that's
man.
cool. There's not many people
You're
able to. I like your character class. But yeah,
We don't judge you. We identify as Bresky Brewski.
yeah, nothing came of it that night. Like, we got his number down, and he was like in our contacts.
And let me say, he didn't look like a meth head. He looked like a normal dude.
He looked like a normal guy.
So that's. It's not like you came up with no teeth. It was like in his eyeball and said, "Hey man, you got some."
Wasn't I thought the other person was with you guys too.
No,
that
not
was a
this
different
time.
we
That
went
was-
to go hang
yeah,
out with
it's
them.
a different time.
Oh, okay. So this is the introduction to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when
Okay,
we got his
so-
phone number, and then we went and hung out with him later,
Okay.
multiple times.
Continue.
Yep.
And he
Yes,
was
we
cool.
did.
And
Good
I
job,
would have hung out with that guy, for a long time. Steven just ruined it for us because he got mad that he asked us.
He asked us. He didn't
The guy
force
we were playing
us.
chivalry with, Mike.
Huh?
Mike, the guy we were
I'll-
playing chivalry with, he was a part of the
Yeah.
second encounter.
Yeah,
But he got mad about it, and
not mad about it.
What did he get mad about?
because he asked
you gotta-
the guy
The
offered.
guy asked. He offered us an opportunity to suck his dick for $40.
$45.
$45.
Contest. It was a dick
For contest.
sucking
He said contest. Yeah. And he was like,
And Steven, and from what I heard from you guys, Steven was like, what the fuck did he ask? Whatever. And then when you guys told him, and he's like, he
he
went
got
off.
pissed. So we were like, this is getting weird. So
Wait,
hold
hold
on.
on. Did Steven not win
this
or
is-
something?
This was this was the exact quote Steven
I
says.
even knew that he
Me
was
being a loser
scraper.
and I've never won anything in my whole life. I go. No, I'm just kidding. Take opportunities, man. If God closes the door, he opens a window. This window just happens to be a glory hole. It's my first win I ever got. No trophy. Just I'm just kidding.
We were walking away, and Steven was just getting so mad. He was like punching his hand, and then he just like snapped. Something just snaps in his body, and he's like,
He's fucking pissed.
"Nobody asked to suck my friend's dick for $45."
Something like that. Yeah, it was funny. Leading up to it, right? We're all hanging out. I don't remember who's all there. I know it's Casey, me, Steven, Josie. You were there too, right?
So how long was he sitting there stewing?
Well, he went off to piss and then he came back. So it started getting foggy. This is creepy. So first we're drinking. We go. He has like I think he has
like a
top
Scooby Doo
ramen.
porno.
Yeah, it's like a Scooby Doo. We go in the alley where like Tung Fung Lowe's is, and the other building. And then he's like, oh, now what do we do now? Like we're like looking at him for guidance, like he's a scoutmaster because he's about to do scoutmaster shit. And he's like,
This is before he asked us.
yeah, he's like, I got this porn on my phone, and me, I'm kind of thinking like, oh, I hope he's not being weird. I'm thinking in my head, it's like, oh, okay, and he's like, oh, so anyways, we got this contest, and he's like, oh, we can't be here because the people come out and they tell us we gotta leave, and then he's like, I got this contest, and then so we go to a different alley, okay.
Think about your limits.
Yeah, then he's like, think about your limit, your boundaries. Think about your boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. That's what it was.
Like, think about your boundaries, and then like Steven goes off to take a piss or something. He's gone a while, and then so he's like, we're like, oh yeah, just like we're not doing any that kind of shit, we're not trying to suck dicks and shit. Basically, what we're saying. And he was like, okay.
we basically said nothing gay is what we said. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, nothing gay.
Yeah, nothing gay. And he's like, $35, something like that. And he's like, and we're like, oh yeah, we're like no gay shit. It was like, $45. And then he kept going up. We had a conversation before this, like totally irrelevant. He wanted to take us to Reno and butt fuck us there.
That is not irrelevant. He was trying to fucking dig. He was trying to get you guys all fucking whatever.
Yeah, and then so
I'm gonna treat you guys good.
And then so like we were like, he was like, oh, never mind then. We're like, we're laughing like, what is it? And he's like, if I can get a little head. We're like, wait, what? And we're like laughing because like, did we just hear what we just heard? And then he was like, if you could suck my dick. And then we started laughing, and we were like, "Oh, we gotta go!" Like, and then so we started walking. We catch up with Steven. It's getting real foggy, right? We catch up with Steven. Steven got done pissing. I don't know why. Maybe this happened a lot faster than I remember it. But we caught up with him as he was up the road trying to find a good piss spot, I guess. But it was nighttime. It was foggy, and we got like pretty distant away from him, going up the hill, walking home, and it was still kind of foggy, and you can kind of see him in the distance, like Michael Myers or something creepy. And then Steven was angry, and I guess this whole thing would happen with you and or Casey and Steven. They're talking about it, but yeah, that's when he yelled it, and I could see him in the distance, like almost like a silhouette kind of thing in the distance, and it was just like.
Mike, for you to understand another part of it, you have to understand another pedophile that we have come across by the name of Sylvester. And this motherfucker would rape men behind AM PM. Like, this is something this guy did.
What?
Yeah, he'd just travel around on a bike. He'd be like, hey, you want to get high? He would take you somewhere, and he would like force you to suck his dick, I guess. Yeah. Just from what I've heard about things.
Well, we've heard.
It's scary. I
we've
one
never
time to the Ora Villa. He fucking rode up on me one time. He was like, "Where you going?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Just up here to my mom's house." And he's like, "Oh yeah, what's going on over there? Who's all over there?" And he was like being hella fucking weird. And I already heard the stories at this time.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
please don't rape me.
I gotta do. And I forget who it was, but a couple of our friends were coming from the Urban Manor, coming up there too. And he's like, all right, I'll catch you or something like that. And he fucking like left. Like, he was like, I'll catch you later or some shit like that. But it's like, in my head, it's like he's got to catch me slipping again at night while this motherfucker's patrolling around like the pedophile Silver Surfer.
He's buff too. He's like buff as shit. Hella buff.
Yeah, he was a big ass dude.
Huh?
No, he was just a bigger guy.
Just a big-ass dude.
None of you guys,
he wasn't he wasn't tall in stature, but he was like muscular.
Yeah, he's super muscular. Like, so where we lived at, we would see him like
no one who
around
got
those
raped
parts all
by
the time.
him owned a knife?
Well, what we hear from other people is that he gets people hella high, and then he like
and then he
them,
fucking forces
himself on stuff.
I think he was trying to. But yeah, I didn't know. The guy was a lot bigger than me. I was like,
Yeah, we watched him fight somebody.
Got fucked by him.
Yeah, we watched him fight
That's a
somebody.
nice name drop.
Yeah, we watched him fight.
Made him wear a little itty
couple
bitty Nate
people.
song.
We watched him fight a couple people back at where we lived at around the area because it was like the apartments back when it was called the Urban Manor behind Rite Aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was yeah.
But yeah, anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
was it Steven yelling at Damon
Yeah,
or something? But he kept saying, "I know Sylvester."
Yeah, he was like,
he was aware of his raping counterpart.
Yeah, he was like the angel on the shoulder, and I think Sylvester was like the devil. They're like two sides of the same coin, though. They're like yin and yang. You have like the polite rapist, and then you have the aggressor.
They both wanted to rape.
Damon wasn't really a rapist. He was more of a opportunist.
He was an opportunist, yes.
He saw what he wanted, and he would try to
take advantage of us.
He tried to coerce us into
with gifts and everything.
He tried to groom you.
He did.
Yeah,
he's a businessman, if you will. He was going to take without reprimanding.
Actually, Casey, were you underage at the time?
I probably was.
I don't remember. We weren't 21 yet, so
for sure.
Buy our own alcohol, so.
No, that's why we relied on these sex offenders.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why the drinking age should be 18. So no one gets molested.
I'm glad that I just knew people that would just buy me alcohol when I wanted it.
Oh, we did too. It cost a couple favors.
And this one was free if you're blacked out.
True.
But yeah, so we've had plenty of run-ins with pedophiles. I only met Damon the one time. We were outside of Little Caesars and got pizza and we were drinking, and he rode by on a bike. And I remember who it was. I know me and Matthew were sitting there, and Matthew was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, can I get a piece of that? I'll give you a beer." And he gave us like a Steel Reserve or some shit that wasn't open. So we gave him some pizza and he went on his way.
He was the plug. He was trying to plug us up.
He either wanted his dick sucked or pizza, and he'd give you beer. Oh, God.
I can't suck your dick, but I can give you a slice of Little Caesars. I can't give you a slice.
Well, what will you do? I can't give you a nice warm blowjob, but what I can give you is a nice warm hot and ready. Will you take a hot and ready? It's not the hot and ready I wanted, but sure, here's a Steel Reserve, slightly warm, that pedals off eating pizza. Pedophile pedals off.
Pedophile peddler.
Look, I don't hear much of you, mate. I can't give you a gorbie, but I'll give you a slice of pizza. Give you a slice of pie.
Gobby?
I had to look it up. I can't give you a gorbie, but I can give you a slice of pizza, mate.
I can give you a different type of pie that you may not be after, but it's warm.
Back to the sex offender at hand, though.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes.
Mr. Dahmer. The next victim we have, I don't know how to say this.
The victims.
This guy's name, so I'm going to butcher it for sure, but it looks like...
It's okay, you can't do it worse than Dahmer did.
Synthophone, maybe something like that. He was killed...
I can't even say the name for King of the Hill, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. But it was May 27th, 1991. He was killed at the age of 14. The younger brother of the boy who Dahmer assaulted in 1988 was drugged and had hydrochloric acid injected into his brain before Dahmer left him unattended. As he left the apartment to purchase beer, when he returned, he discovered the feller naked and disoriented in the street with three distressed young women attempting to assist him. When police arrived, Dahmer persuaded them that he and the Smithophone, I'm going to call him, were lovers, and that Smithophone was simply intoxicated. When the police and Smithophone with Dahmer left Smithophone with Dahmer in his apartment, Dahmer again injected hydrochloric acid into his brain and ended up killing him, and he froze his head in the freezer and dismembered his body.
See, that's some of that fucked up shit, because like homosexuality made everybody like uncomfortable. It's like the cops was like, yeah, just get him, get him out of here. Like they just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like it made them uncomfortable as fuck because some people were gay.
Yes, sir. Next victim, we got Matt Turner, June 30th, 1991, at the
Did
age
he have
of
Fairly Odd
20.
Parent?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
it's Timmy Turner. Never
he
mind.
should have at this. But Dahmer attended the Chicago Pride Parade, and at a bus stop, he encountered a 20-year-old named Matt Turner and persuaded him to accompany him to Milwaukee to pose for a photo shoot. Turner was drugged, strangled, and dismembered in the bathtub. His head and internal organs were put in the freezer, and his torso placed in a 55-gallon drum Dahmer purchased on July 12th.
Yeah, this is
Damn,
in that 55-gallon
first.
drum is when he started trying to bleach the bones and shit, so he could keep them.
What's gross is he put that torso in 12 days after
Yeah,
he cut
dude,
up his body.
like he was super fucking gross. Like his neighbors constantly fucking complained about his fucking and his house smelling like death because he would just leave the bodies everywhere for days at a time. Like the smell didn't bother him.
He used them as furniture.
Sorry, I love a lot of women that aren't clean.
He liked a nice armchair.
That was good.
That was funny.
No, next guy, we got Jeremiah Winenberger.
Did he fuck horses?
Possible.
I think we've talked about the guy who fucked horses on a podcast. I don't know if it got left in.
Who, Jeremiah? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He always just gets
Hey, we're okay. We're allowed to do shout outs.
cases over here just dropping names like crazy.
I didn't say the other guy's last name, so that's fine.
Shit.
And that's a very common name anyway, so. And
Jeremiah,
No.
It's not common for Jeremiah to fuck horses.
I'm
and
the
get
knight.
on-
I am the horse fucker.
Class of 2011, Orville High School.
Oh my god.
It's common to the name Jeremiah. It's not common to stay the night with your tweaker dad's tweaker friend who brought her children there, and you bought a condom out of a Motel 6 vending machine, and then later fucked the horse with it.
I bet you if it was Toy Story that a hotel condom never thought it'd end up in a horse's ass.
There was 3 things about that day that fucking wasn't okay with me. First thing, we ate malto meal for breakfast.
Ugh. That upset
Second,
my stomach the worst, though. I will
my
say
arm
that.
was broken, and they forced us to ride horses. And third was this motherfucker
Just
fucked
was the
the
pony.
horse as the sun was setting with a stool.
That's romantic.
It was more romantic than Brokeback Mountain. There was
Did you guys see this?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
mean
did
we're
witness
kind of there. He was just like, it's like I'll do it. No, you won't. Yeah, I'll do it.
It's like, what the fuck? Me and Matthew end up in a lot of
He
weird
said he's-
shit. Like they should
Why-
make-
He
Yeah,
said he's
what
done
the
it before,
fuck?
though. He said he's done it before, so that's why it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
so-
go and do it again, then. Pussy.
all right,
And
he
he
was
did.
a pro at it.
He was a pro at it.
But at least he
At
worked
least he was
constantly to
getting
get
some.
horses.
Like me and Joseph were the losers in that picture.
You didn't get AIDS.
What the fuck is up with your guys' like?
I don't know, like Bill and
We
Ted
traveled
movies,
a lot.
There should be a Joe and Matt witness
Mike-
horse rape or Joe and Matt witness incestual love in a shed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did watch one of our friends suck his cousin's dick in a shed while we were supposed to be playing like sword fighting, non-gay sword fighting, like regular like with sticks, kid stuff.
I
What they do weren't
I was
was
talking
kid
to-
stuff.
You,
It could've
you
been.
should clarify that you guys weren't in there just watching it happen. You guys.
We weren't. No.
You're on the
The shed had
outside.
many holes.
'Cause it sounds
Like if one of the
this
parents
turned into
came
a
out,
group activity.
dude, there is.
Yeah.
It was such a worn down shed that you could probably find a hole to find every angle of this fucking weird porn. I was explaining it to Russell the other night, and he was laughing because I was like, "Nah, dude, the cousin had the cousin of the friend of ours was like leaned back with his head like this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he put his hands behind his head, like very generic,
He
like,
did,
and like
yeah.
leaned
Oh,
back
it was
into it.
hands behind his head.
So he
behind
was
the
super
couch.
relaxed during wartime, which is weird, because we were like playing sword fighting,
We were
like
playing
with
a
like
sword,
we were playing
yeah.
like
So was
basically
he.
lightsaber tag. It was yeah. So is he. But no, it's like he did this before. Like they've been doing this, and why you guys? We're only here for the weekend. You guys have each other through it, like outside of that. Okay, let's just fucking play the game.
And before he,
We're not here till
because,
Sunday.
You
We
guys are
don't
just
want to
like,
stay here
because,
bored while you guys suck each other's dicks.
I gotta
you
ask,
guys are
it was
just like, so
how
does
old
this
were
mean
you?
we win? Did they forfeit?
No,
The
it was
fucked up
it was
thing
kind of
is,
like that. It
too-
was kind of dumb because we were like beating them, and they got
Yeah,
upset.
and then one of them got beat off with the mouth.
That was fucking crazy. Yeah.
It was fucking crazy,
And
dude.
now that
I
dude-
wish,
Mike's
I
sitting
don't
there.
know.
He's like, "Why is your guys' life like this?"
I'm more mad
For
that
real, dude.
I'm more mad that me and Matthew didn't think about that morality boost move.
The morality boost move.
Yeah, because he was sucking his cousin's dick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we had a morality
That's
boost
true.
For the war,
Yep, that was one from the old Spartan playbooks.
for the old fucking a protein power up. Is that like the equivalent to getting your moose out gauge filled in Dynasty Warriors? Oh, that fucking worked.
You didn't know, but your friend had a Trojan horse, and he was ready to sneak that on his cousin.
Dude, were we 8th grade or freshmen? I forget.
We were like freshmen. No, dude,
We
and
were
this is what I was
freshmen,
talking
yeah.
about on Friday night too, because Russell was all like, "Wait, how
Why
old
were
are
you
you?
playing
You guys are just little
lightsaber
kids."
tag
Like, no, it
as
was either
fresh-
8th
Oh
grade or
yeah,
9th
because we were
grade. I think it was
losers. We
9th
just
grade.
larped. We larped.
Yeah. What the fuck's
We
wrong with
larped,
that?
and this
We larped.
motherfucker was slurping. He
And
was
we were
slurping,
doing
and
hella
we
good
were
too. We were
I'm
like kicking their
scared.
ass, and then they like finally beat us. They took the shed, and then they closed it and locked it, like,
And fucked each other.
and then fucked each other. I guess. Like
You're just like, you lose, you go, you know what? Go fuck
Hey.
yourself. Maybe we will.
we know who the real winners were.
It's weird
Hey,
because we were
that was
really
the
obsessed
castle.
with like
It was
we
the
were obsessed
castle.
with
Is that what kings
Japanese
do?
and like me and Matthew were
Lock
obsessed with
the
like
castle.
Japanese. Me and Matthew were obsessed with like Japanese culture, Chinese culture. Like Matthew was obsessed with like Viking stuff. We didn't know they were obsessed with Spartan culture.
Do you guys remember that fucking Meet the Spartans fucking spoof? It's
Oh,
like
I
high
fucking
fives for
love
the
that
women, open
movie.
mouth kiss for the men.
It's for the men. I
your
love that
breath.
movie.
Catch your breath. Vanilla blended.
And they're blended. He's all talking into the fucking Starbucks booth or whatever the fuck it was. He's like vanilla blended. And it's like they found the whatever gates. He's like, oh shit. The Paris Hilton. It's like God, I hate her. We shouldn't be
But,
saying that in front of Casey. They get discounts at those hotels.
Oh, do you
It
guys?
don't matter.
The Hilton.
do.
I know. I'm just kidding.
What's it called? Yeah, because the owner ran me over when I was staying there one time, so
Oh, really?
I only have to pay $10 a night if I stay at one.
Is that really true?
Is it?
No.
No, I was gonna say. I thought your wife. Yeah.
No, my wife works for the hotel, so we get discounts. But Jeremiah, what killed him was Jeffrey Dahmer when he met him at a gay bar in Chicago and agreed to accompany him to Milwaukee for the weekend. Dahmer drilled through Jeremiah's skull and injected boiling water into the cavity. He later recalled Jeremiah's death being exceptional as he was the only victim who died with his eyes opened. Jeremiah his decapitated body was kept in a bathtub for a week before being dismembered.
That's
His
fucking
torso was
gross.
placed inside a 57-gallon drum.
Did we already discuss the fact that this motherfucker was trying to make a zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure we did.
that's crazy, that boiling water one.
Yeah.
And it's weird that he said it was exceptional that this one was the only one that died with his eyes open.
I probably thought he was getting closer.
Probably.
He's like, I'm almost, have it. He's like,
God,
fucking,
dude, it's too bad it's not too bad, but it's. But did he live long enough to see Walking Dead? He probably
Frankenstein.
masturbated to that.
No, he didn't.
It's like,
He didn't. Hey, he died in the '90s, right? I mean to jump ahead.
Maybe early 2000s.
Dahmer?
Yeah.
He died in, I think, 93.
Oh, okay. So he never got to see Walking Dead.
I can tell you,
It's 10 years too early for the comic.
I can tell you when exactly.
Was the Night of the Living Dead out? Because he probably seen the porn parody of
Yeah,
Night of the Living
Night
Dead.
of the Living Dead was out. I don't know about the porn parody, but
I don't know if there really is one.
He died
That came later.
November 28th, 94.
Wait,
So
which
next.
rapper died that year?
So the next victim we have, while you look up that rapper,
Kurt Cobain died that year.
we have Oliver Lacey. He was born July 5th, or not born, but killed July 15th, 1991 at the age of 24. He was a bodybuilding enthusiast whom Dahmer enticed to his apartment on the premise of money for posing for photographs. Lacey was drugged and strangled with a leather strap before being decapitated. With his head and heart being placed in the refrigerator, his skeleton was retained to adorn one side of the private shrine of skulls and skeletons Dahmer was in the process of creating when he was arrested just 1 week later.
It wasn't a rapper. It was Kurt Cobain. Died in '94.
Oh yeah, I said that.
That's why I was like, wait a minute. I thought Biggie died because I was thinking Biggie, and I was like, he had to have died later in the '90s, and he did. He was like 97.
And our last and final victim, Joseph Braidhoff, is, I believe, how you say his name. He died July 19th, 1991, at the age of 25. This was his last victim. Joseph was a father of 3 children from Minnesota who was looking for work in Milwaukee at the time of his murder. He was left on Dahmer's bed for 2 days following his murder before, on July 21st, he was decapitated and his head was placed in a refrigerator and his torso was thrown into the old-fashioned 57-gallon drum. That was it. That was all the moitas.
Yeah, and then he went after one more person. He got caught.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also
So,
during this time, he also went to prison for molestation.
Oh, did he?
It's so crazy.
Yeah,
that,
that one the
They do
Smith
further
and Phone guy,
investigations.
his older brother. He went to jail
Yeah.
for that.
That's what I was saying. I brought it up the last podcast. He, it was like
Like he was a sex
a
offender.
visitation from prison, something on Thanksgiving. Like it was either after he was in prison or some shit. He ended up getting fucking. He ended up getting raped by somebody.
he ended up getting his
That's
turkey
I
stuff.
brought it up in the last podcast. It was like ridiculous and funny as fuck.
he
goes
got
around
his
comes
turkey
around, man.
stuffed on Thanksgiving.
Damn.
The guy raped him with a candlestick or some shit like that.
Jack be nimble.
Like he woke
Jack
up
be
being
quick.
sodomized with it. Yeah,
I think we
already
I think we already did this.
last
I think
week.
we did this. Yeah.
We did this last week.
We
Yeah,
did
we
it.
did that
Yes, we
last
did.
week. That's it. Or 2 weeks
So-
ago. I can't remember when we did this.
It's
That's
like
how bad that you and me both fucking. It was like great minds think alike. Or fucked
did
up
do
one,
that.
but
we did.
But yeah, he served time.
So on July 22nd, 1991, Dahmer approached 3 men with an offer of with an offer of $100 to accompany him to his apartment to pose for
about the
news
boundaries.
photographs and drink beer and simply keep company. One of the trio, Tracy Edwards, age 32, agreed to go back to his apartment, and then when they entered the apartment, Edwards noticed the odor from several boxes of odor, and then he saw several boxes of hydrochloric acid on the floor, which Dahmer claimed to use for cleaning bricks. After some minor conversation, Edwards responded to Dahmer's request to turn his head and view his tropical fish, where Dahmer placed his handcuffed on his wrist, and Edward asked what was happening. Dahmer unsuccessfully attempted to cuff his wrists together, then told Edwards to accompany him to the bedroom to pose for nude photos. While inside the bedroom, Edwards noted nude male posters on the wall and a videotape of The Exorcist 3 playing. He also noted a 57-gallon drum in the corner, from which he said a strong odor was emitting.
So,
That's what I heard. You loved The
Um,
Exorcist.
as someone who does brickwork, a mason, you use
So you say, as someone who invites strange men over and handcuffs them.
Did
Yeah.
you say a mason or amazing?
a mason.
First, what you got to do is
You
hit him
use
over the head with a
muriatic
club.
acid to clean brick.
Muriatic.
Yeah, same shit you used to
It's
clean pools.
Jewish. Muriel.
You look like a damn dwarf right now. Like you're about to go into the Misty Mountains with your fucking axe and go.
That's
dig up
because
some-
I'm going to.
Nothing bad with it. You look amazing. I wish I can grow a beard like you.
It's pretty easy. Just don't shave.
That's
Not
my
easy
same
for
philosophy.
boys like Casey.
Yeah, I'm a young lad.
Young lad. Yeah, you would
My
never be a
asshole-
captain
my
of a pirate ship.
asshole.
You'll always be a skipper. Let that sink in. Pirate.
Hey, that was the captain of Gilligan's Island. My asshole looks like Gimli. I don't shave that. And it's red, oddly.
Looks like a wise baboon's ass. So then, Dahmer then brandished a knife and informed Edwards he intended to take nude photos of him. In an attempt to appease Dahmer, Edwards unbuttoned his shirt, saying he would allow him to do so if he would remove the handcuffs and put the knife away. In response to this promise, Dahmer simply turned his attention toward the TV. Edwards observed Dahmer rocking back and forth, chanting. Before turning his attention back to him, he placed his head on Edwards' chest, listened to his heartbeat, and with the knife pressed against his intended victim, and informed Edwards he intended to eat his heart.
I want to eat your heart.
Oh,
I
it's
thought
so
we were just
fucking-
here to take nude photos, bro.
He's like little Nick. He's like, I will eat your heart.
Oh, that's not funny.
I'm gonna eat your heart.
So Edward continued to try to prevent attacks from Dahmer, and he repeated that he was Dahmer's friend and he was not going to run away. Edwards decided that he was going to either jump from the window or run through an unlocked front door upon the next available opportunity. When Edwards next stated he needed to use the bathroom, he asked if he could sit with the beer, if they could sit with the beer in the living room where there was air conditioning. Dahmer consented, and the pair walked into the living room. When Edwards exited the bathroom, sorry, I gotta take a breath. Inside the living room, Edwards waited until
Casey's
he
getting
observed.
turned on over here. Sorry, hold on.
Oh, no,
until he
no. It's
observed
getting hot in
Dahmer
there.
and had a momentary lapse of concentration before requesting to use the bathroom again.
So did
When
you.
Edward rose from the couch, he noted that Dahmer was not holding the handcuffs, where Edwards punched him in the face, knocking Dahmer off balance, and he ran for the front door. Or ran
Damn.
out the front door.
So he outsmarted him. He just took someone
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Well, it's just because everybody else he took home was drunk off their ass
Yeah.
already. I
Yeah.
think.
He was the
And
only one
he
that
would
was in
drug
the
him.
right mind. At the same time, he
He
actually.
drugged him with sleeping wasn't sleeping medication he was prescribed.
I don't want to say
or
he's standing
something?
on the
Or
shoulder
what?
of giants, but
It was,
he's.
something.
But he.
I forgot what it was,
If
but
he
yeah.
didn't smell the people that died before him in the barrel, that probably would have not. That would have been one less clue.
Yeah. Good thing he was
Good
paying
thing he was like.
attention to his surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And noticed the
His wits
smell of rotting flesh.
His wits were about him.
So at 11:30 on July 22nd, Edwards flagged down two Milwaukee police officers, Robert Ruth, I don't know how to say his last name, and Rolf Moeller, at the corner of North 25th Street. The officers noted that Edwards had a handcuff attached to his wrist, where he explained to the officers that a freak had placed the handcuffs upon him and asked if the police could remove them. When the officers' handcuff keys failed to fit the brand of handcuffs, Edward agreed to accompany the officers to the apartment where Edward stated he had spent the previous 5 hours before escaping. Damn, 5 hours. What a time that would be. That'd
That's
be fucking
that's a long
adrenaline
time.
pumping that entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. You,
long
you,
time
after he
insane.
got out of there, he's probably exhausted.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit. Or he's just fucking adrenaline, just like.
I wonder what he did the rest of his life after that. He probably told that story a lot.
Probably found
Just
God
fucking
if he didn't already know. If he wasn't
just
already religious.
Dungeons and Dragons in his mom's basement.
I'd say-
motherfucker.
The first 20 times he told the story, he cried. The 50th time he told the story, he said it with pride. The 100th time he told the story, he laughed.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, right? At that point, it's just like, you almost got me. Some bitch.
I would have been laughing about
He
fucking
he
a
just met
month
a
or two
he just
after.
met
Maybe.
a nice lady, got married, and had some kids, and
I
just
thought he
didn't
was
fuck with the
gay.
gay community anymore.
He got
Yeah.
scared straight.
Scared,
That's
scared,
That's
scared.
legit. How you get scared straight? Just have a motherfucker threaten to eat your heart.
Damn.
Fuck. So
Well, so now we know what happens.
So when the officers and Edwards arrived at apartment 213, Dahmer invited the trio inside and acknowledged that he had placed the handcuff on Edwards, although he offered no explanation as to why he had done so. At this point, Edwards divulged to the officers that Dahmer also had brandished a large knife at him, and this had happened in the bedroom. Dahmer made no comment to this revelation, indicating to one of the officers, Officer Mueller, that the key to the handcuff was in his bedside dresser. As Mueller entered the bedroom, Dahmer attempted to pass Mueller to retrieve the key himself, where the second officer informed him to back off. Hold on one sec, I gotta drink some water. It's super hot in this garage, and I am dying.
Yeah, and you're getting hot and bothered by this whole ordeal.
Now my throat's just drying out. So in the bedroom, the officer noted that there was a large knife beneath the bed. He saw an open drawer, that upon closer inspection contained scores of Polaroid pictures, many of which were human bodies in various stages of dismemberment. Mueller noted that the decor indicated that they had been taken in the same apartment in which they were standing. Mueller walked to the living room, showed them to his partner, uttering the words, "These are for real." Then, once Dahmer saw what the police were holding, he fought with the officers in an effort to resist arrest. The officers quickly overpowered him, cuffed his hands behind his back, and called for a second squad car for backup. At this point, Mueller opened the refrigerator to retrieve a freshly severed head of a black male at the bottom of the shelf. As Dahmer lay pinned on the floor beneath the other officer, he turned his head towards the officers and muttered the words, "For what I did, I should be dead."
Like he was. That's what I from like what I heard. Like he's different than other fucking serial killers in the sense that he's fully aware that what he did. Like he's a monster he deserved to die, but
At least that's what he said in his court case.
Yeah. But it was just like he didn't try to plead like he was fucking whatever. Like he fully
He acted
took
sincere in his court
responsibility
case,
for
but
it.
then in jail he joked about killing him. So
No.
yeah, like
I guess it's basically like, yeah, it was funny as fuck, but you caught me slipping.
yeah, in his court case he expressed remorse, but then when he was in jail he bragged about his killings and made jokes about it. And essentially, you know how he was like a class clown, just started doing that in prison, but like about his killings and stuff.
Gotta make people like you.
Oh, it pissed people off.
His
Oh, yeah,
remorse was
definitely.
probably try to win any chance that he had to get out, but then when he realized he was fucked, he was just like, yeah, might as well
Yeah,
let the real him
But-
out.
but yeah, he was pissing the guards off, pissing off other inmates, and then I'm thinking the guards were in on this, but he got left alone with an inmate, and an inmate beat him to death with a iron weight, a dumbbell, or like the bar for a dumbbell.
Oh shit!
Which is pretty interesting, seeing as his first victim, he knocked him out with a hit with a dumbbell and then strangled him to death.
It's
You're
kind of
talking about the guy
poetic.
who killed
Kind
Dahmer?
of, yeah. He also died on the same day that Gacy was executed.
Oh, nice.
So,
Why'd they tie it together?
Hey, you guys hear that fucking quiet on set thing? Brian Peck, the guy who's molesting Drake Bell.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have did that laugh at first. That was
We said Brian
He didn't
Peck?
like that. Yeah, his name is Brian Peck.
Wait.
But-
Oh, never mind. Josh Peck. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, Josh Peck. No, people thought they were related, but they're not. He was pen pals with Gacy.
Yep.
That's insane.
That's
He
crazy.
bragged about it.
yep.
That's crazy. He's a psychopath.
to
Then.
these children. Like,
How
hey,
can you be
guys know
okay
this
with
guy
that?
Yeah, and yet Nickelodeon still kept that fucking weird, fucking
So it's all
that fucking
Nickelodeon's
weird
fault.
bird-like
Then
man on there.
they knew he was fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
no, they were fully because there was accusations and
Whatever
everything else. They
sells.
just figured,
Money is
these
the
guys
common
can't go to work.
denominator. If he's good at
And
what he
like, and,
does, like they don't care.
and by the way, I don't know if I brought this up before. I definitely did in the group chat for the podcast, but Brian Peck fucking was in X-Men too. He was a cameo on the beats, same as Stan Lee.
Oh, anytime someone gets molested, he's there.
Or was it on the beat?
He's
I don't know.
there.
Stan Lee was in the same scene as him. I guess people say that he kind of stole the spotlight because apparently he was a big deal at the time.
I don't know.
But I mean, Stan Lee's over here going like Excelsior, and he's over here going Anusor.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's not-
Excelsior, Excelsior. We all have in
Yeah,
it
no, that's insane. because-
inside of us
so
to be a hero.
Brian Peck and Bryan Singer were friends. And
That makes
yeah,
sense.
we all know all the shit with the Bryan Singer shit. That's why I made that joke in the group. It's like, what's with Bryans and being sexual fucking predators? Or fucking variants of it, like Bryant, like Kobe Bryant. Because apparently he, whatever. But who knows, because she also had fucking jewelry from him and everything else. I'm not saying don't believe that one woman with the accusations.
That's weird to me. It's just like if someone.
Yeah.
It's like, how's this? Like, yeah, that's a whole
But
different.
if you feel
thing.
trapped in a situation like Drake Bell was going on trips with fucking Bryan Singer and all of his
It's
probably child molesting friends.
Brian
It's-
Peck.
it's
they were
like-
going to Disneyland and everything else.
Yeah.
What did I say? Bryan Singer, Brian Peck. Brian Singer's a different monster. I don't know the full thing of his fucking things. I just know his friends got rid of the original Pyro, which is very fucked up, but also arguably the second Pyro was a lot better. We should probably cut that out. And justify,
But a closer look at the apartment showed there was 4 severed heads inside the kitchen, a total of 7 skulls, some painted, some bleached. Some were found in the bedroom inside the closet. Investigators discovered blood drippings on a tray at the bottom of the refrigerator, plus 2 human hearts, a portion of arm muscle, each wrapped inside plastic bags on the shelf. In Dahmer's freezer, investigators discovered an entire torso plus a bag of human organs and flesh stuck to the ice at the bottom. Investigators also discovered 2 entire skeletons, a pair of severed hands, 2 severed and preserved penises, a mummified scalp, the 57-gallon drum, 3 further dismembered torsos dissolving in an acid solution, a total of 74 Polaroid pictures detailing the dismemberment and of Dahmer's victims were found. In reference to the recovery of the body parts and articles at 924 North 25th Street, the chief medical examiner later stated it was more like dismantling someone's museum than an actual crime scene.
They must have been just as twisted. I really hate to see this go. Like
So-
what they're saying when they got into the crime scene. "Oh, but he worked so
So-
hard on this.
Dude, often when it
this is
when like
years of
serial killer
work.
shit, the stuff gets released from evidence, people will buy it. And like, there's a museum somewhere called the Museum of Death where you could see like certain serial killer stuff and stuff like that. But there's a guy who bought all of Dahmer's stuff that was released and destroyed it all, so it couldn't be used as trophies.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. Yeah, I don't. Because these people get paraded. It's like, yeah, we should remember fucking whatever, but at
Yeah.
the same time, we also celebrate it, which is fucking Netflix, especially.
That's
They're kind of overkilling all. They overkilled all that shit.
There's something
That's
that
a
Like,
good
I
show.
people
understand the
in
families not wanting that to be whatever because it's like they're making a profit off of something that.
Yeah, and it's just like human nature. There's something with humans and monsters kind of thing. literally the whole Twilight scenario, like the whole like he's a vampire, but
Mhm.
it
Yeah, it's
there's
intriguing fucking shit.
yeah, it has a lot to do with just like human nature, like humans and monsters.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't glorify it
I think
because
it's
then you'll create
interesting.
more.
Their brains are broken. I want to know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
interesting fucking shit. It's just kind of sad that it fucking
there's a way to
it's to the
study it
point where
without
it's like
glorifying it.
they're just more people like to fucking they like to fucking the watch it. They like to see series about it. I never watched the series, and
And
that's not
then
because
I
I
I'm
did.
think
like,
human
oh,
beings
how dare
too.
they? I
Human
just wasn't that
beings
interested.
will always argue no matter what. There's an advocate for every opinion out there, and people love to play the devil's advocate at that. Um, so there's always someone victimizing something, and so there's going to be a portion of the population that sees Dahmer as a victim,
Oh no, fuck
and they're
that.
going to be like, "Oh, he was battered as a kid. He had all this stuff. Poor him. This is why he grew up," kind of thing. And so that only breeds more of that when people glorify what he's done. But
Glorifications.
yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, that's why that shit sells.
I mean, I find the shit interesting, but not fucking. I don't know.
It's
People
yeah,
are damn near
it's
like
intriguing,
it.
but you don't want to like, oh, I bought the hammer, the same hammer that I used to kill someone.
Oh yeah, that'd be weird. That's no good. There's gonna be some bad juju on that shit.
That'd
It's
be
just
my
That's
daily
what
like
work
the
hammer.
it's
that's what there
literally
was
the
this
regular
weird.
hammer. It was just used in a different way. It's like, oh, this hammer is
Hey,
different.
fun
It
fact:
was
this hammer was used to beat someone's parents to death.
So that's what there's a show on Prime Video, and it's
I
called like
wouldn't do that. I was just joking.
Yeah, you
Murders
would.
Caught on Camera or some shit like that. And it was this gay couple, these dudes. They fucking murdered someone. They have like a whole killer shrine, like of like serial killers and scary movies or some shit like that. I can't remember. Uh, it's just it's fucking weird. But yeah, they murdered somebody, and I forget the details of it. But it's like they worship shit like that. And
What
Yeah.
they
if
wanted
so?
to fucking do it
It's
themselves.
crazy.
There's this YouTube channel that I watch called Explore with Us, and they break down like crimes, and they go through the entire police investigation and show the entire police interrogation. So I've watched it before, where I've watched an entire like 1 hour police interrogation of someone who killed like 3 people.
It's crazy to see how they
It's
react.
fucking nuts. It's so fucking nuts to hear them like when they have like actual psychopaths on there, to hear them
Yeah,
lie. They're so
they don't.
fucking convincing. And then as soon as like
Yeah,
the cops are like, "No, we got you," it just turns on a fucking dime. It's like, "Oh, that's scary." It's like, "Whoa."
I think the craziest of people are the people that admit to it.
It's like,
Those are
yeah,
like
I
the
did it.
crazy ones. They're
Caught
super
me
calm
slipping.
about it. Yeah, it's
Whoops.
crazy.
I'll do
So,
it again.
so we got through all of Dahmer's murder victims, and we can get to his arrest and stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. Get to his arrest and his what he got charged with and his trials and stuff. If you guys like, or
Sure.
what do you guys? What do
Yeah,
you guys wanna do?
let's do it. I have a bunch of just random stuff that's kind of all over the place. I don't know if that's just better just to do at the end though.
Whatever you think. Whatever you feel
Well,
is right,
let's
Joseph.
just go through the last little bit real quick,
Yeah.
because I don't know
Well, I
the
got some.
details on what he was sentenced to and stuff.
All right. So, on July 25th, 1991, he was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Excuse me. On August 22nd, he was charged with 11 more counts of murders. And then on September 14th, investigators in Ohio discovered his first killing, and he was charged with murder as well. So, with a total of 15 counts of murder. um, what's it called? And then that's everything that he was being charged with before his trial and everything. And he had a preliminary hearing scheduled on January 13th, 1992, where he pled guilty but insane to 15 counts of murder.
Oh, so he did plead insane?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, from what I fucking heard, is that he just fucking like took full responsibility without.
How did he
fucking
die in
claims
custody if
against-
he pleaded insane?
He got his ass beat.
Oh,
I
they.
didn't-
Oh,
no,
Yeah. He went,
oh, they.
he pled insane. He didn't go to an insane asylum. He went to prison.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
shit.
he
Yeah,
went to
they
prison,
knew. They
but-
said, "Fuck this motherfucker. He's
Well-
not." Which is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of. It's technically
But
he
honestly,
didn't, he didn't die in a.
If he wouldn't
he
have
didn't die in
showed
a legal
remorse,
manner.
he probably would have been done better off with the insane plea. He
Um,
didn't show
yeah.
remorse.
Well, I think what it
Well,
was,
that's just,
like
I
people,
can tell you
people
what
aren't
they
stupid.
said.
People aren't stupid. They know that he's insane, but being insane is too good for him because that's an excuse. So they wanted to put him in basically, yeah, in whatchamacallit, regular shit, so he can get fucked with. Because I think it'd be too good for him to.
Well, that's also
to
like he
plead
had also
insane.
killed kids, like
Yeah.
teenagers. Young
So it's like
teenagers.
let this motherfucker
Yeah,
suffer. Because
he
if he bleeded insane and he was granted that, he would be kept to himself. He would actually live a longer life.
He was.
Um,
There was pedophilia on top of the
yeah.
murders.
Oh,
like,
they wanted this motherfucker to get got, and it's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he
mean-
fucked a 15-year-old prostitute. I think that's when he first got registered as a sex offender, right? Or
Well,
was that?
the-
No, that was the older. No, that was the older brother to the.
No,
the
well, all I'm
guy the
saying,
cops
all I'm
kicked
saying
back,
that
Second
right?
phone was, I
everyone
think,
knows
like
he's
13
insane.
or 14. That one that he killed.
Oh, he was 14. He was
Oh,
14.
Yeah, he's
okay.
hella
I-
young.
Oh, everyone
I
knows.
didn't fucking-
Well,
yeah.
all I'm saying is like
I don't
everyone knows that
remember
he's
that.
insane. But the reason why they
Names
didn't
like-
grant him that is
Or-
because he would be a bit more comfortable, and so they wanted to put him in general population
Yeah.
because they wanted him to get what he deserved.
Yeah.
Which is, if you look at the justice system, that's kind of that's very biased. The fact that they did that because he was insane, but to get this motherfucker what he deserves, put him in general population. But that does show you how corrupt the justice system is, not advocating for his benefits. But technically, he was insane. He would be, if you looked at it from a non-biased point, you put him in like
Well,
an insane
that's the thing,
asylum.
though, is like he
or
had said
something.
that he knew what he was doing was wrong. He just couldn't stop himself. And the
Yeah,
fact that
he
he
was-
knew what he was doing was wrong immediately makes it to where he can't go to the insane asylum.
Which is insane. I mean, I don't know how you want to. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he
yeah.
said-
Well, he would still. I think so. He would still be
He
technically.
said that the murdering wasn't something he wanted to do. It was just a means to an end. Like he had to do it, kind of thing.
Which
Like,
would
it's
make
not
him
like he
mentally
didn't
ill.
want
And
to,
he-
he was forced
when
to,
people
yeah.
murder consistently, that makes them mentally ill, which
Yeah.
means that they need to
Yeah,
go to an insane
they are.
asylum.
But they
But-
need to, in all honesty, because
Yeah.
no matter what the mental, like there's levels of mental disability.
There is.
If you're harming other people, you're a plague on society, and you should
Yeah.
be put down.
You should be put down immediately. Just put down.
I don't think the medication you're not
Yeah.
helping society.
But
in
the
any way.
legalities of that, is they want to preserve people that they don't believe is responsible because they're mentally incapable to be in charge of their person. So they put them in an insane asylum. But when someone does that much shit, and if they're not stupid, you want to put them down, but legally you can't put them down for capital punishment kind of thing. So what you do is put them in general population and let the public deal with them in an incarceration kind of environment. Let them deal with them. So they did that. So it shows how there's not, from a non-biased point, if you go from a lawful perspective, it is, they should have put him in an asylum in a mental health thing. But like, why? He deserves to die. So let's put him in general population. Let them deal with it. Because legally we can't. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
But
that's what I'm saying.
Casey's got the. I'm sure Casey's got the details of fucking the ending.
But
part,
yeah,
so-
I think fuck the guy. Like, I'm glad he went to general population.
Which is essentially what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
basically what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what. I mean, it was all.
Yeah, so he pled guilty on January 13, and he waived his right to trial to establish guilt. So his lawyer uh, tried to say that he suffered from either a mental or personality disorder, but the prosecution claimed that his disorders did not deprive Dahmer of the ability to understand his criminal conduct or to deprive him of the ability to resist his impulses. The defense argued that Dahmer suffered from a mental disease that was driven by his obsessions and his impulses he was unable to control. So basically, you just hit the fucking, what is it, the nail on the head or the hammer on the nail or whatever the fuck the saying is, when you were, whatever you were saying, like what you were just saying, Matthew.
Oh yeah. It's like, yeah, because
Well, what the
at the end, everyone's like, fuck this guy. No one likes this guy. We don't care what's wrong or right and what's a fair trial. Fuck this guy. Fuck
Well,
the books.
well, what the prosecution was arguing is something that has became like a standard in a lot of cases like this, where they're mentally ill. If you can understand that your crimes are wrong, then you're mentally competent enough to be able to stop yourself from doing them. Is a lot of the times what judges say.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah,
what the
which is,
prosecution was arguing, and
be
that's why
fully
it's like
aware of-
the fact that he probably would have possibly gone to an insane asylum if he would have not expressed remorse.
Yeah, so like saying something, it's like I had
fair.
I had no choice in the matter. A demon was telling me to do it. A dog was doing it. Like
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
kinda
son of,
saying-
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
like some shit like that. But like he was fully aware. He just said like it was like murdering was a means to the end. Like it was like
Maybe
it's not like he knew what he was doing was
Oh.
wrong, but he had to.
maybe he
like,
wanted to
it
die
wasn't like-
though, in the sense they said it was the
wasn't
means to
like
an
we're
end.
saying- Yeah,
He
yeah.
wanted to be
I mean, it was just-
prosecuted. He just wanted to see how long it took
Well, no,
him.
I was just being like what
Well,
he was his goal. They had to die for his goal.
Yeah.
Like he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he had to do it. But not in the same sense as I was being forced to do it. It's
He-
like no, I had to do it for what I wanted. Like a different kind of I had to.
Dahmer had a
I
fear
guess.
of abandonment, which is why he was trying to make it a zombie. It's like that's why he was experimenting on them. Was he didn't want someone to have the ability to say no or leave him. So that's what he was trying to accomplish. Yeah, but yes, he did just kill some people. He did kill them. He also like didn't experiment on all of them.
And the defense argued that Dahmer was insane due to his necrophilic drive and his compulsions to have sexual encounter with corpses. Defense expert Fred Berlin testified that Dahmer was unable to conform his conduct at the time and committed the crimes due to his paraphilia or his necrophilia.
I mean,
If
you
you
can't.
guys don't know what paraphilia is, it's I'll tell you because I didn't know what it was when I first read it. It's the experience of reoccurring or intense sexual arousal to atypical objects, places, situations, fantasy behaviors, or individuals. It has also been defined as sexual interest in anything other than
fetish.
a legally consenting human
Oh.
partner.
A crazy fetish. That's actually fucked up to call it that. But yeah, I mean, I think he's insane.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Most
people don't
definitely.
commit that things, but to plead insane and for
Because
him to
by
be granted that,
definition, anybody
by
that's insane to
definition,
do something outside
yeah.
of normal
But
fucking
the whole thing,
human.
if someone's insane, you don't believe them. You don't like they
don't
can't. They
think
have no
the
rights
preacher
to
wanna
their
die
person
sex-
if they're insane. I mean, they could,
on a sex-
but I think the better thing to do would be to charge him as someone that is fully sane, and incapable, like of understanding what like the crimes and shit he committed. But
Well, especially after this expert too that came in for the defense, Judith Becker. She
Slut.
was a professor of psychiatry and psychology, and yes, she was possibly a slut. But
I hope so.
she was
case
the
needs to be
second
sexy.
expert. She was the second expert witness for the defense, and she diagnosed Dahmer as a necrophiliac, but she also stated that Dahmer had informed her that he preferred comatose sexual partners to deceased ones 75% of the time.
That's $3/4 off the dollar.
If you were to ask the jury, is this guy not crazy? The jury would be like, yeah, he is crazy. so
And then one
depleted.
juror would be like, "Well, I can't help smelling feet, so I
It's like an undeniable thing that he is insane. So, but I think again that I mean maybe they said in that court case I don't think it was a fair case if we're looking at it like from a bird's eye view, but no, he definitely needed that. He needed to be put in general population so he could get what was coming to him.
Also,
the
he had been to jail
Go
multiple
ahead.
times before, and with how extreme this case is, what would be the point of sending him to an insane asylum? There, in my opinion, there's no chance of rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation, but that's
Yeah.
not always the case because if people are insane, they're just there to be occupied and taken care of because they're not. I forget because I'm drinking, but like the term for if you're not the sayer in your own actions, there's someone else that does it. But yeah, he wouldn't have that. He wouldn't have full autonomy. He would basically have to like yeah, because whatever he says is not true. Everything he said, he's insane. So by default, we would have to send him to an insane asylum. But he killed way too many people. Fuck this motherfucker. Well, how can we kill him? Well, we can't put him in the death punishment if whatever kind of thing. So let's put him in general population. Let's let them figure it out. And they knew the outcome. They knew what was going to happen. So I think that's how he got his just desserts by putting him in that environment.
The I agree with you, Matthew. But the final defense expert to testify was forensic psychiatrist Carl Wallstorm.
Sagan.
Yes, and he diagnosed Dahmer with necrophilia, borderline personality disorder, schizotypal personality disorder, alcohol dependence, and psychotic disorder.
Could you imagine the
But
person diagnosing someone with necrophilia? It's like, this patient has he is necrophilia. What do you mean? Wait, doctor, no, I'm not. He likes to fuck dead bodies. Doctor, please. He's a necrophiliac. I've diagnosed it. My parents are here. Shh.
and if they're dead, he'd fuck you too. So
He'd
let's
fuck
get
you
back
too if you were dead.
DNA means nothing to him. If you share it or not, as long as you're cold, you'll
He's
fucking.
been I didn't know you could be diagnosed as a necrophiliac. It's just how it is. I have evidence right here.
I thought
don't
you.
like
I
them
thought you
more.
either were or you weren't.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like you like it shaved or not. I don't know. It's just a preference thing, really.
I actually have a
I
book
was,
up in
I
my
was like
closet.
cold.
I eat my turkey cold.
I have a book up in my closet that I haven't finished. I only read the first couple of pages that I borrowed from a coworker.
Necrophilia, where to find it?
Well, the guy, I think he runs security in a hospital, but he's a necrophiliac. He only fucks dead bodies, so he fucks them in the morgue.
Nice.
And then
That would be a good place to do it.
he meets a doctor, and
Our
she
funeral
eats
home.
dead. She eats dead babies. So I assume they're gonna team up in some weird fucking way. I don't know. I only read
He's
the
gonna
first couple.
fuck the baby, marinate it, and she's gonna eat it.
Maybe, but it was just the detail of it. It was just like he like pushes on the body while he's fucking it. I think she was like
ever
chopped
since
up
we
in a
hired this
fucking,
new employee, the infirmary just smells like burnt cum.
But yeah, he
So-
like pushes on the body and the gases come out of it while he's fucking it. It's just fucking gross.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, it's
Bet
rough.
you he loves munging. No, on February 8th, Fred Fostel testified on behalf of the prosecution. Fostel testified to his belief that Dahmer was without any mental disease or defect at the time he committed the murders. He described Dahmer as a calculating and cunning individual, able to differentiate, able to tell the difference between right and wrong, and the ability to control his actions. And he just let his lust overpower his morals. But Fossil did state that he believed that Dahmer was a paraphiliac, but he concluded that Dahmer was not a sadist.
I mean that makes sense.
Well, he didn't torture them. He subdued them and then killed.
Well, I don't know because
Killed them,
I heard he
right?
was jerking off with fucking dismembered fucking biceps and shit. Is
I
that
don't
kind
thi-
of a sadist thing?
Well, they never suffered though. He didn't jerk off to them suffering. He killed them
Oh
or
yeah,
or
no.
disoriented them, and then did that, and then so it wasn't the suffering of they were just not conscious whenever he did what he did. I think.
Mike's over here looking up mutilated bicep porn.
Oh my god.
What would you say? He had a leg chair or a leg or armchair?
The second and final witness to appear for the prosecution was forensic psychiatrist Park Dietz, D-I-E. It's Diet with a Z at the end. Dietz, is that how you say it? That
Mr.
makes
I don't know.
sense.
Deeds. I love that movie.
Park Dietz, I'm gonna call it that. That looks.
Winona Ryder,
right.
fuck yeah.
I hope he looks like.
He
Adam
began his
Sandler.
testimony on February 12th. Dietz testified that he did not believe Dahmer had any form of mental disease or defect at the time he committed the crime, stating that Dahmer went to great lengths to be alone with the victim and to have no witnesses. He explained that there were ample evidence that Dahmer prepared in advance for each murder, therefore his crimes were not impulsive. Although Dietz did concede any acquisition of paraphilia was not a matter of personal choice. He stated that his belief that Dahmer's habit of becoming intoxicated prior to committing each of the murders was significant. If he had an impulse to kill or a compulsion to kill, Dietz testified he wouldn't have to drink alcohol to overcome it. He only has to drink alcohol to overcome it because he's against killing.
You forgot also that Dietz also was not the rightful heir to the money, the illegitimate son of the billionaire. That was the butler who really loved Pete. Was actually the one who.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was a good
Mr.
movie.
Deeds.
I like that. I feel like only his old movies fucking
I like
really,
Pete. Everything else is
really
weird.
hold up. Funny People still holds up. That movie's funny. I think.
Dietz noted that Dahmer strongly identified with the villains of The Exorcist 3 and Return of the Jedi, particularly at the
You don't watch a
level
lot of
power
movies for
held
his
by the
work.
characters. Yeah.
That was apparently one of his favorite movies.
Shouldn't you be working on this case? Hold on, babe. We gotta finish Star Wars. We gotta finish it. All right. Trust me. This is part of my homework.
But I guess Dahmer occasionally viewed scenes from the films before searching for a victim. Dietz diagnosed Dahmer with a substance use disorder, paraphilia, and schizotypal personality disorder.
That's when you have personalities in different timelines. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just like,
Two court-appointed mental health professionals testifying independently of either prosecution or defense were forensic psychiatrist George Palermo and clinical psychologist Samuel Friedman. Palermo stated that the murders resulted in pent-up aggression within himself. He killed these men because he wanted to kill the source of his homosexual attraction to them. In killing them, he killed what he hated in himself. Palermo concluded that Dahmer had had a severe mixed personality disorder with antisocial, obsessive, compulsive, sadistic, fetishistic, borderline, and necrophiliatic features, but otherwise legally sane.
if that was the case, do you think he was screaming homophobic slang at the bodies as he was fucking killing them?
Slurs?
Slurs.
Slurs. Oh, slurs. Yeah. Just
But it's also slang as well.
but slang too. He was calling them fucking I mean, wait, what would
Bear.
be slang for gay person?
I think bear.
Bear. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what's a homosexual slang.
Bear.
Oh.
Otter.
Butt pirate would be a slur, right?
Yeah, Nancy.
Yeah.
Pirate would be Nancy would be a slur.
Nancy!
Okay, what would be a slang? A poof. Poof is still a slur.
Well, they make
Continue with
stuff their own,
Hank
so it
and
could also
Nate.
be a slang too.
Sissy.
They
I don't know
make
if that's
they
it.
make stuff their own.
Technically, queer would be slang
But
for
they're-
fucking whatever because
Yeah,
it
it
really
could be.
meant
Yep.
odd
Yep.
before,
It
right?
would be.
That would
Yeah,
be-
and
would
it's
be
it could be a
slang.
proud statement.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess now it means something else, but I mean, I don't know, dude. We need a gay dictionary instead of just an urban one.
Bear. Gay bear.
Oofing gay bear 9. Oofing gay bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's what Joe Rogan said? That people that are homophobes are either it's like they're either something I forget what he said, or they secretly think dicks taste delicious.
That is hell funny. Like people are hell offended about that
That's
shit.
probably the
It's just
funniest
like-
thing I think Joe Rogan has ever said. I don't think his stand-up's very funny, but he said that was a joke in one of his stand-ups. That like homophobic people either something or they secretly think dicks taste delicious, which is hella fucking funny. All right, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I don't have the other guy's quote. Well, I give you a minute, so you continue talking for like 30 seconds. Friedman testified that it was a longing for companionship that caused Dahmer to kill, and
Podson.
that Dahmer was not psychotic. He described Dahmer as amiable, pleasant to be with, courteous, with a sense of humor, conventionally handsome, and charming in manner. He was and still is a bright young man. He diagnosed Dahmer with a personality disorder, not otherwise specified, and he was featuring borderline obsessive compulsive and sadistic traits. And then the trial lasted 2 weeks in total. On February 14th, both attorneys delivered their closing arguments to the jury. Each attorney was allowed to speak for 2 hours. Jesus, fuck, could you imagine just talking for 2 hours straight?
We do it every day. Or every podcast.
No, but we're talking 2 hours between 4 guys, 3 guys, 2 guys, but
Being
2
that
hours
serious,
straight. Yeah.
I would
And
leave the court. It's like, I'm sorry, I gotta take a recess. This is getting too dark for me.
like, I don't know, I feel like that'd be
We
that's
may
crazy to
recess
me.
after everyone finishes talking about their astrological sign.
I don't know.
But the
Lawyer, you
defense
have the floor.
attorney the defense attorney argued repeatedly,
Yeah.
referring to the testimony of mental health professionals, almost all who agreed that Dahmer was afflicted with some sort of mental disease. He argued Dahmer's compulsive killings had been a result of a sickness he discovered, not chose. Boyle portrayed Dahmer as a desperately lonely and profound sick individual, so out of control he cannot conform. He cannot understand, or he cannot conform to his conduct anymore. And following the defense counsel's 75-minute closing argument was with Michael McCann. Hold on one sec.
I'm gonna hop
Case is
off.
like, hold on real quick. The
Sorry,
fuck
guys.
do you want, bitch? Are you getting off?
I've been feeling. Yeah, I'm not feeling the greatest.
Love you, brother.
I could tell when you had your
Love it to you guys.
Jesus of Nazareth robe on.
Yes.
Yeah, I woke up. Well, since like Saturday, I've been feeling sick, and today,
Okay.
like I was just feeling off since Saturday. Today, I woke up feeling sick.
Shit.
So,
Well,
You've been going hard, dude, a lot lately, so
yeah.
Yeah, you should take.
my man.
Well, take it easy, you guys.
too.
Alright,
my
see you
guy.
later, Mike.
Love you, brother.
Bye. Love you too, you guys.
Later, brother.
So, Michael McCann delivered his closing arguments for the prosecution, describing Dahmer as a sane man in full control of his actions who simply strove to avoid detection. McCann, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought my headphones died.
No.
McCann described Dahmer as a calculating individual who killed to control his victims and retain their bodies merely to afford himself a prolonged period of sexual pleasure. McCann argued that by pleading guilty but insane to the charges, Dahmer was seeking to escape responsibility for his crimes.
McCann said you can't be doing that. It's disgusting.
He also said, "Let's take a
So-
recess. Everyone, while you're hungry, go grab a McDouble."
I'm feeling.
He wants to make chicken.
Mickey D's lately.
But
Dude, now I want fucking McChicken. Those are bomb as fuck. Is that $5? Sorry, I just want to. Is that $5 deal out yet?
Oh,
you know, Joseph, if you download the app, you can get a buy one get one for like 29 cents McDouble.
Yeah, we'll do the app for
I
the.
didn't know that
There's like a
shit.
$10 deal with the nuggets and fries or some shit
Yeah.
that we do for the kids.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to get like lunch for like $5. Well, I don't know what food costs in California. Probably like $20 for a McDouble.
Yeah, it's insane. And then once they did the $20 thing, which good for the employees. And actually, honestly, good for the customers because nobody should be eating that shit anyways. Because I mean, their shit was already rivaling
True.
with Denny's prices, and Denny's is fucking way better than fucking fast food. The whole point in fast food, they forgot their fucking place. It's a quick meal to go.
Yeah,
It's nothing about it fucking healthy. It's just, oh, I need something that tastes good because
I gotta
in the
eat or
fucking
I'm gonna
whatever,
die.
I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, it's like I need to go to bed soon,
Yep.
or I need
And it
fucking
should
be
be
at this
expensive
place
too.
or
It
that
should
place.
stay inexpensive. They're just like
Yeah, and it's not
they
inexpensive.
got
And
greasy.
Walmart,
They got greedy.
and it's funny. That $5 meal, by the way, that's supposed to be coming out. People are mad because it's only supposed to last for a month. So it's like
Shows you
their
they
whole
can
little
afford
fucking
it just to do it, but they don't do it.
yeah, but they're not choosing the yeah.
Eventually
Supposedly
they'll
it's only
buckle.
supposed to be
They should
but I
buckle
don't know
down.
when
If
it
they don't buckle
starts.
down, then this isn't capitalism.
They're
If they don't buckle
Do you know
down,
how much? Do you know how much money and if a fast food restaurant lowered their prices to OG prices, how much money those places would make and how busy they would be?
they would.
Somebody tried to tell me recently that it's a percentage thing, and the people they rent the buildings from
Well,
for each like
yeah,
fucking
for the franchise.
area.
Well, this is the thing is
Because
what they
if
need to
they're not
do.
making a specific percentage, even though they're
Yeah,
making a profit, if it's not at that percentage line, they'll
yeah.
lose their deal on
Well,
that fucking whatever.
yeah,
But I mean, the whole thing is fucking corrupt, and if that's the
yeah.
case,
The whole thing is if you're a franchisee's owner and McDonald's wants to do business in California, they should lower the cost of the food that the franchisee owner orders because McDonald's and Sonic and Burger King, they all set the price of the truck orders. They all set the price of how much the patties cost that they have to order from the company. Because when you're a franchisee owner and you buy like a franchise, pretty much you don't really get full autonomy of what you can do. You have to follow guidelines and stuff like that, but you can choose the labor. You can choose to make more or less. You can kind of choose your labor percentage in that. But the thing is, if it's like, oh, okay, it costs too much money now that everyone's making $20 an hour, costs too much money, I guess I can't do business. No. That should pressure all these corporations to actually lower the cost of the food that they sell to the franchisee owners because in turn they make money and they make advertisement anyways. It's just like, my whole thing is,
well,
if it sucks to be a franchisee owner, then stop being lazy and start your own business. Don't buy another company's business.
I meant to say
That shit's lazy.
I meant to say that
You want to
I
be
meant to say
innovative.
that the buildings they're like McDonald's, like, oh, they're not hitting a certain profit line, so they're no longer allowed to rent from these certain locations. I don't know. It was something stupid that
They
somebody told me.
they could be that the
Like, if that's the
franchisees
case, I said
set the
franchisees,
bar.
but what I meant was just that location of the store, not franchise.
Oh
Because
yeah,
franchise is a
yeah,
different
because
thing.
they're
Yeah,
individual
and
owners
what I was
that
saying, I
own.
said it wrong. Yeah, what I was saying, it was when McDonald's rents a location somewhere because it's like whatever that, like a building, because I don't know this. This guy was trying to tell me when they rent the building to put their store there, they have to meet a certain percentage line. So when they don't up their prices during something, they're actually losing out. Some shit. I don't know. I don't know like a math like that. But I was like, well, then the whole system's corrupt if that's the fucking case.
Yeah.
They're upping their shit when they really don't fucking need to do it. The person that
Yeah.
works at the Wendy's here in town, when we went to go get one of the biggie bags because they upped the price of them,
Hmm.
we didn't say what as in the fucking what like the price went raised, but that's the way she took it, and she said because they're paying us because they upped the pay whatever the $20 an hour, they upped all the prices by $1 or something whatever, and she seemed to go quickly to defensive like don't yell at me kind of mode, like she was like not aggressive but it was like
They
apologetic,
they
and it's
probably
like
care a
we
lot
weren't
from
being
people
aggressive,
though
just couldn't
too.
hear her break. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. She went to an apologetic don't be mad at me please, like kind of because this happened, and it was like nobody was doing that, it was just couldn't hear because of static, and it's at a pilot station so there's like trucks revving in the background because it's joined with the pilot thing. It's just, but it's funny because it's like now she, as a defense mechanism, she has to say that because like due to the fact that they're paying us a livable wage, they're also
Yeah.
upping their price to make our
Oh
and
yeah,
now
cause
it's
yeah, cause
are
she's
like
used to
forcing
telling
people over
fucking
it. Yeah,
redneck people that boy,
I
so
don't get
dude,
paid fucking.
people don't get the
I get
bitch
paid
about
a dollar
like
something over minimum wage,
yeah,
and they fucking upped
it's
our work thing. I went from doing like three people's jobs to like the whole fucking like
that's what they
store's
do. Yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah. Cause
Fucking
they refuse to take a loss. They refuse to take a cut in labor, so they lessen the people and they make one person run more shit. And they stress that person out. But it's like this is not how businesses should be ran. If you're doing all the work, you should get 50% of the profit. That's the whole thing.
I
Is
should say actually
that's
two
the
different.
what's
I do
fucking the
too.
problem with capitalism is now that you have these figureheads making multi-million dollars and you have all these slaves beneath them making all the money for them.
Yeah,
It's like no, we should be able to say fuck this shit. Let's just steal
sorry.
everything from it. Sorry,
No, yeah, no, we spiraled
sorry.
way out. Sorry, I was like, oh, yeah, we're talking about Dahmer. Sorry, fucking fuck.
Oh, you're good. But on February 15th, the court reconvened to hear the verdict. Dahmer was ruled to be sane and not suffering from mental disorder at the time of each of the 15 murders for which he was tried. Formal sentencing was postponed until February 17th. On this date, Dahmer's attorney announced that his client wished to address the court. Dahmer then approached the lectern and read the statement prepared by himself and his defense as he faced the judge. And I'm going to read what it says, kind of. In his statement, Dahmer emphasized that he had never desired freedom following his arrest and that he frankly wished for his own death. He further stressed that none of the murders had been motivated by hatred and that he understood that nothing either said or did could undo the terrible harm that he had caused to the families of his victims and the city of Milwaukee, and that he and his doctors believed that his criminal behavior had been motivated by mental disorders. Dahmer added that his medical knowledge had given him some peace, and that although that he understood that society would never forgive him, he hoped God would. Dahmer closed his statement with, "I know my time in prison will be terrible, but I deserve whatever I get because of what I've done. Thank you, Your Honor. I am prepared for your sentence, which I know will be the maximum. I ask for no consideration." He then returned to his seat and awaited formal sentencing.
Well, that could
See,
also be a
that's what
defense
I was talking
mechanism
about
as
before.
that could be a
Yeah,
defense
that's
mechanism of a psychopath saying if I comply, then they have to they have to do it.
yeah, maybe.
Also, it
Or
could be
he
the
could have just
opposite.
like literally from full on just not giving a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
you're right.
this
I'm
is
not
the
asking for any whatever.
it could be the long game of death by like suicide by cop. The long game of it is he said it's simply just a means to an end, meaning that he can't kill himself. He doesn't have the strength to kill himself, so he rather the justice system take him instead. By the do that, it's like Grand Theft Auto. If you want to die faster, just commit a bunch of crimes so you get 5 stars cops and they shoot you. It's like the
That's what we used
and
to do
then he
as
became
kids. You need to
addicted
get
to the
cops on
crime.
you. You're taking too long.
Yeah. So basically, what he did,
Well,
he
he only
needed
got
to
2
get
stars
cops
for
out
that
because
too.
he was taking too long.
He-
His turn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the defense mechanism in Grand Theft Auto for someone waiting their fucking turn that's next. It's like, well, you only got 2 stars. Wow, you can't get any more. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, wow. It's like I could get 5 stars way fucking faster. It's like, fuck you, I can do it.
He
It's like,
knew he
thanks, my
was
turn.
sick. He wanted to die in custody because he needed help with suicide. But while he was alive and he couldn't kill himself, he might as well just indulge. And so he indulged on these things.
I think
Um,
he lived
but
his
he
life
wanted to
the
die.
way that he fucking seen
Yeah.
fit, and then once he got fucking caught, he was just like,
He's like,
What I did
it's a
was
game.
inexcusable.
It was a
Like
game
I
to him.
enjoyed it. It's like when you catch a thief that knows they did fucking wrong. It's like you caught me slipping. Like
Hmm.
that. It's pretty much what it
It was
is.
just a game to him.
It's like there's no whatever. I hope God forgives me. It's just
Hmm.
it's what.
So
Unfortunately, I couldn't
Dahmer,
find.
he was sentenced to life in prison plus 10 years upon the first 2 counts. The remaining 13 counts carried a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment plus 70 years. The death penalty was not an option for the judge because Wisconsin abolished capital punishment in 1850 something. I forgot to write down the last number, so it's in the
It's okay.
1850s.
They
But
couldn't kill him. So if he lived in like a mental health facility, he would live to be until cancer got him because he'd be taken
yeah,
care of.
3 months after his conviction in Milwaukee, Dahmer was extradited to Ohio to be tried for his first victim, Stephen Hicks. In a court hearing lasting only 45 minutes, Dahmer pled guilty to the charges and was sentenced to a 16th term of life imprisonment on May 1st, 1992. Dahmer then was transferred to the Columbia Correctional Institution. For the first year of his incarceration, Dahmer was placed in solitary confinement due to concerns for his physical safety. If he were to come in contact with fellow inmates, several of the individuals across the world began donating money, which he spent on items such as cassette recordings, stationery, cigarettes, and magazines. These are people donating to Dahmer putting money on his books, basically.
Insane.
Upon Dahmer's request, after 1 year in solitary confinement, he was transferred to a less secure unit where he was assigned 2-hour daily work detail cleaning the toilet block. Shortly after completing his lengthy confessions in 1991, Dahmer had requested to Detective Murphy that he be given a copy, I don't know why I put this right here, of the Bible, and his request was granted, and Dahmer gradually devoted himself to Christianity and became a born-again Christian. On his father's urging, he also read the creationist books from the Institute for Creation Research, and in May 1994, Dahmer was baptized by Roy Radcliffe, a minister in the Church of Christ in the Gratitude of Oklahoma Christian University, whom he met on April 20th. This service was conducted in the prison whirlpool. Following his baptism, Radcliffe visited him on a weekly basis. The two regularly discussed the prospect of death, and Radcliffe later divulged that in the months prior to his murder, Dahmer had questioned whether he was sinning against God by continuing to live. If a person who doesn't think that there is a God to be accountable to, then what's the point of trying to modify your behavior to keep it within acceptable ranges? That's how I thought, anyway. That was a quote from him, Dahmer.
Yeah.
Osvaldo.
So what's the point of him being incarcerated for rehabilitation? Rehabilitation. Why not kill him now? If if he's always going to be the same, there is no God. Then, yeah. What's the point of changing?
Yeah, because, I mean, if you're just accountable to yourself, then,
Most things, like most like rehabilitation things, like those, like try to strike the fear of God into you. That's like you can go to hell, So if you're an
That's good.
alcoholic,
That
you
is
can go to hell. So think about other people. Try to change your life around so you
If
can go to
you're
heaven.
if you're an alcoholic, you have to give yourself up to a higher power than sake.
Pretty much. And if there's no higher power, then what's the point? Why not? Why
No,
can't I just drink all the
then
time?
sake's the goddess of alcohol or
No,
beer or
no,
whatever it
Oh
yeah.
was.
yeah, yeah,
But I was
Nikasi.
saying what he was saying is
Ninkasi.
basically like, what's the
But
point of getting better
yeah.
if there's no afterlife? What's the point of
If you have if
trying
you have
to
no
be
one to be
better?
accountable to, what's the
Yeah,
point?
what's the point of improving?
Yeah. So Oz I said his name's hella good just a minute ago. Osvaldo, whatever. Druity
Fellatio,
on July yeah. On July 3rd, Osvaldo. Ah man,
fellatio.
I just said it. See if we didn't get off track, I had it
My bad.
down, man. But no, it's all good. I just can't say the name again for some reason. But on July 3rd, 1994, a fellow inmate attempted to slash Dahmer's throat with a razor embedded in a toothbrush as Dahmer sat in the prison chapel after the weekly church service was concluded. Dahmer received superficial wounds and was not seriously hurt in the incident. According to Dahmer's family, he had long been ready to die and accepted any punishment he might endure in prison. In addition to his father and stepmothers maintaining regular contact, Dahmer's mother Joyce also maintained regular contact with her son prior to his arrest, and the two had not seen each other since Christmas of 1983. Joyce related that in her weekly phone calls, whenever she expressed concerns for her son's physical well-being, Dahmer responded with comments to the effect of, "It doesn't matter, Mom. I don't care if something happens to me." And so on the morning of November 28th, 1994, Dahmer was left in a cell to conduct his assigned work detail. Accompanying
Here we
him were
go.
two fellow inmates, Jesse Anderson and Christopher Scarver. The trio were left unsupervised in the shower of the prison gym for approximately 20 minutes. At approximately 8:10 a.m., Dahmer was discovered on the floor of the bathrooms of the gym, suffering from extreme head wounds. He had been severely bludgeoned about the head and faced with a 20-inch metal bar. His head had been repeatedly struck against the wall in the assault. Although Dahmer was still alive and was rushed to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead 1 hour later. Anderson had been beaten with the same instrument, and he died from his wounds 2 days later. Scarver,
Yep.
who was serving a life sentence for murder committed in 1990, informed authorities that he attacked Dahmer with the metal bar as Dahmer was cleaning the staff locker room, before attacking Anderson as Anderson cleaned the inmate locker room. According to Scarver, Dahmer did not yell or make any noise as he was attacked. Immediately after attacking both men, Scarver, who was thought to be a schizophrenic, returned to his cell and informed the prison guard, "God told me to do it. Jesse Anderson and Jeffrey Dahmer are dead." Scarver was adamant that he had not planned the attacks in advance, although later he divulged to investigators that he concealed a 20-inch bar that he used to kill both men in his clothing shortly before he did his killings.
Hell yeah. Justice hath been served.
So upon learning, Dahmer's mother, when she found out that he died, she responded to the media angrily. She's like, "Now, is everyone happy that he's been bludgeoned to death? Is it good enough for everyone?" Well, not quite. Guess what? He fucked at that bar too.
Such a fucking whatever thing to say. Like,
It's
it's a
like
weird
your
thing.
son was a
It's like,
piece of shit.
yeah, and it's like, you can love your fucking kid all you want, but you can't be like, yeah, are you happy now? He got bludgeoned. Is that good enough? It's like, when nobody
Not
drilled
really.
a fucking hole in his head at the age of fucking whatever and fucking poured shit into it. No, he didn't get chemical burns to the brain. You know?
So it wasn't good enough. To be honest,
So it's like, it wasn't fucking, nobody ate his
it was too good
flesh.
for him. He should
The
have had
families, I
worse.
guess, they had mixed reactions to the news. Some celebrated in the news, while others were saddened.
You know what they need to do? You know what they need to do to actually make better of these murderers is whenever they do capital punishment, they should do like they did in the medieval ages. They should embarrass them before they kill them. It's fucked up to say, but it'd make them less like heroic. And people, when it like right before they die, everyone throw a fucking like someone run up and fart in his face and like throw tomatoes at him
Yeah.
and shit like that. Like it would make
That's
them
true
less of a
because
hero. People would buy less
of
their
being like,
shit.
look
Yeah.
how calm he was during the end. Instead of being like, no, he was tarred and feathered, and they gave him a dirty Sanchez in front of everybody.
Yeah,
And forced him to lick it
someone
slower.
sticks up his ass. Like it's like if they did this shit, there would be less people doing it. It would be easy.
Mhm.
It's fucked up, but the Middle Ages had it right. It was like
Yeah.
fuck their dignity. They're guilty. They're fucking guilty. We know that.
But Catherine Lacey, the mother of Oliver Lacey, remarked that the hurt is worse now because he's not suffering like we are. The district attorney who prosecuted Dahmer cautioned against turning Scarver into a hero, saying that Dahmer's death was still murder regardless. And on May 15, 1995, Scarver was sentenced to 2 additional terms of life imprisonment for the murders of Dahmer and Anderson. Dahmer had stated in his will that he wished for no services to be conducted and he wished to be cremated. And September 5th, 1995, Dahmer's body was cremated and his ashes divided between his parents. A
Sucks that
disagreement
they had
between his
divorce.
parents. They had a disagreement, the parents, whether Dahmer's brain should be retained for medical research. And it was later retained but cremated in December 1995. And that's everything that I had on Dahmer.
I got a few things. They're kind of scattered around a little
That's
bit,
fine.
but
I'm listening.
a couple. I wouldn't say fun facts, maybe funny facts, but apparently as a kid he brought a bucket of tadpoles to school to give
That's
to
like
his
a cum
friend.
fact.
And his friend denied him. Like he's just like, what the fuck? So he took them home and killed them by dumping motor oil into the bucket. That's a weird thing to do, right?
He was just learning what oil spills do in the wild.
I don't know if I said this.
Is this stuff that he said that he did, or just stuff that people told?
I think it's something that. So that one I got from that one, and this one next I got from the Time Suck podcast with Dan Cummins, which is
okay.
a really good podcast. I think these are things he claimed during the many hours of, but I could be wrong. Claimed the many hours of recordings that he did. But apparently on August 6, 1982, Dahmer got arrested for his first sex crime. Dahmer was at a local fair drinking out of a bottle when he gets the idea that it would be funny to Winnie the Pooh it and show his dick to a group of women and children. Yeah, just pull his pants down, still has his shirt on. Anyways, it was dropped down to a drunk and disorderly conduct. It was a $50 ticket. But you know, I thought that was, I personally, I mean, we'll take out the equation of the kids part because that one's fucked up already. But a drunken disorderly conduct, like $50 is like I had to pay over fucking like $100. It was hundreds of dollars for
This was in
slamming
the
Cobra.
90s.
Yeah, that's true. For slamming Cobras with fucking Kenny in the back of fucking Pig's Liquor. You know, we got in trouble for that shit. And we had to pay hundreds of fucking dollars for just drinking. We weren't showing our dicks to kids at fucking fairs and shit. But you know, I don't know. With me and Kenny, I don't know what the worst part was, the ticket or the fact that they made us pour out fucking whole ass 40s on the ground. Obviously the ticket. That was funny. 4 years later, on September 6, 1986, Dahmer was taking a drunken stroll down the old Kinnickinnick River in Milwaukee when he happened upon some boys playing by the river. So it's exactly what any man that looks like he keeps a booger wall in his grandma's basement would do whips out the old Dahmer dick in front of these kids. The kids fled and police were called. Once again, gets slapped with a tiny fine, a little bit of probation, and sent on his way.
He's gotten lucky
Apparently,
so many times. It's from the
yeah, he
negligence
did.
of the police department. Is
That's what a
why
lot of these
he's
serial killers back then did. Apparently,
crazy.
pedophilia was a slap on the wrist crime in the 80s. Bet the Catholic Church truly thrived then.
Well,
Whatever.
I mean, because like my grandma, she got married and she was like, I think she was 16, and the guy that she married was like, I think in his like mid 20s or 30s, like her early 30s, and that guy was basically a pedophile, more or less.
Wait, before your grandpa?
Yeah.
How many times was she married?
Couple times for sure.
But
Uh,
yeah, no,
on.
that's crazy. And then I know states do things differently and stuff too. But yeah, no, like back then, shit was crazy.
So I talked about the last podcast about the dude getting fucking raped by a candlestick, but in another instance of a fuck up, he invited a man back to his place and accidentally drank a spiked drink that was intended for the victim. The drinks got swapped around. He ended up passing out and getting robbed for $300 and a watch. So like one of it's a possible victim. Yeah, he fucking ended up giving himself the spiked drink, and the dude fucking robbed him. That it's just weird because about a week prior is when he lured in Raymond Smith, the 30-year-old prostitute who he fucking killed. I think we talked about him, right? Didn't we?
I don't
Did we talk
remember.
about
Did we talk about it?
Who?
Raymond Smith?
I don't.
Raymond Smith.
Doesn't sound familiar.
He killed a man named Raymond Smith, and he dismembered him and kept his bones around his place. Took boning to a whole different meaning there. But on top of that, he also kept his head in his fridge. Dude probably seen that and was like, hell nah, and robbed him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Actually, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, because that was the guy he kept the. And that's fucking crazy because this guy robbed him because he was like, what the fuck? Because dude passed out. He knew he was trying to drug him, so he fucking stole his shit and left. There's no way he didn't look in that fucking fridge. I think I did talk about this last time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like, I know damn sure me and Matthew would have looked in his fridge after like robbing him because I would have took some food.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, what you got in here? Um, this is, I mean, I guess kind of a fun fact. Not really, but Dahmer used to rock aviators, which apparently was a popular look among serial killers like the BTK killer. The bind, torture, and kill. Is that what it was? Bind, torture, and kill? Killer? Or bind, torture? I don't remember. Dennis Radar was his name.
Oh, the guy from MASH.
And, yeah. And then the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, or as I hilariously misidentified him as John Krasinski several times on the podcast. I think it was several times. They both wore those glasses. There might have been other ones, or it was just those two. They're popular, and they were popular among serial killers. At least those three. They're referred to as serial killer glasses. It's not really that important to this,
So
but
that's
the
why the
fact that so
cops wear them.
aviators, yeah, because they're always murdering people. Mike already talked about the graphic novel one, and we already covered the beer thing. I think I might have like touched on this last one, but some of his victims' family members allegedly tried to sue Budweiser, believing they were responsible for his alcoholism. Why does that matter? Well, I'm glad I made you ask because according to the factsite.com, he needed to drink just to be able to kill his victims. In his own words, allegedly, he claimed that he didn't want to kill them. It was just a means to an end. That's what I kept saying over and over again. I should have just read that little thing there.
It was just maybe he wanted to kill himself, but that was the best way to get caught.
Probably.
Yeah. I got skedaddle, fellows.
Oh, we're almost done here. Actually, we are done. That's all I had.
Oh, well then, everybody, what do you think of Mr. Dahmer?
I think it's crazy. Crazy.
Great. Oh no, wait. I did have one more thing actually. Um, um, Infomote.com states that Lionel, Jeffrey's father, and his second wife, Sherry, both kept the name Dahmer and have showed nothing but love for Jeffrey. He even wrote, Lionel even wrote a book called A Father's Story. He donated part of the profits to the victims' families. The first victim, Stephen Hicks' mother, sued Lionel for $50 million. And that's all I had with that. I thought I wrote more about that. I guess I didn't.
I think I read something about that.
Yeah, so she tried to sue him. But I mean, it's the same thing with the Netflix thing. I mean, they're just trying to make a fucking profit off of it. And the dad's a piece of shit.
Trying to monetize it.
You can love your kid because if my kid
Nah,
was
fuck
murdering
that. If my
people,
kid did that, I wouldn't talk to that kid ever again. I wouldn't even.
yeah, I would
disown
still
that
love
kid.
I would
Nope.
still love my kid for who they were, but I wouldn't be trying to justify what they did. I don't think.
Yeah, I'd love my kid
know.
for what I thought they were.
I mean, if my son started coming home, I was like, "That's a weird pinky ring," and he's got someone's fucking dead foreskin wrapped around his fingers. I'd be like, "That's an odd pinky ring. Where did you get that?" It's like I don't know, a fucking 50-cent machine or something.
I think
It's like
one
a
thing we
sticky
could all
hand or
agree
something.
on.
20. It's like a sticky hand. I got it from like a 25-cent machine. But no way, inflation would be crazy then. I got it from a fucking $6 machine.
He has like hair tied to it, so when he slings it out and like you're talking, it gets in your mouth. Ah, I got it in my mouth. It's like a foreskin on the end.
Because we both have foreskin. I think I know what dried up foreskin looks like.
It's like the finger cup thing.
Chinese
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, what is
I only
this?
said the Chinese finger cup because the fucking
What is
Chase gave me.
this? What is this?
It's
Plastic
Chase Howard, whatever.
foreskin?
Chinese finger cups.
But
Dude, that would be nuts.
I was gonna say we could all agree on one thing though, that Dahmer he was a sick individual, and I don't think that he was insane. I believe that he was in control of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Especially
I think-
like if you look at the way that he like when you like read about him and watching the interview clips and just like even the Netflix portrayals like so close on to how he was acting. You know, it's
I think it's the
regardless of
same.
how he felt after, regardless if he felt regret after getting caught, he still did these heinous crimes and he didn't give a shit in the time. And what the prosecution was saying is that, yeah, he did plan these attacks out. They weren't just spur of the moment bullshit. Like, he's not just walking down the streets, he's a pipe and a fucking sexy man. Just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up and fuck you in the ass.
I personally think that motherfucker like creepy as hell.
He had to have stalked it. He was stalking his people before he decided.
But he went to fucking gay bars and
And like they said, his lust overcame his common sense basically. But that's not an excuse to kill.
that was that Matthew. What not post nut clarity?
Yeah, post nut clarity.
right?
Like
If
afterwards.
that's like getting a boner
Because
in
he probably
public and
busted a
just
nut
freaking
afterwards.
out
and
because you
like,
can't
oh,
masturbate.
I think
like,
he's insane. The
Well, then
fact that he committed those crimes.
I also heard that he got a thrill not from the killing, but of cleaning it up.
do you know what's funny? Like
Oh
I
shit,
just
he would
imagine
have
like
been a
that
hell of a
Dave.
good ass maid.
I imagine that
that's
Dave
right, he would've been
Chappelle
good at
skit.
maintenance
Especially at
Walmart.
sketchy motels. You'd be like, don't worry about this body. I got it. Like
Yeah,
Motel 6?
he-
No.
He's like that Dave
Motel
Chappelle
8.
skit where the homeless guy's like beating off on the bus and now he's like after he comes like oh it's messed up and he just gets off.
Yeah,
That
it's like, my
shit's up.
God, like whatever. This is my sub.
That's
Yeah, no,
that's the
because
funniest
it's
part
like
of that
he
skit.
probably had remorse. It was something he was attracted to, and then after he busted that nut, and it's like, oh fuck.
But you could arguably
That's like,
say, how often does this happen? His case never happens, though.
yeah,
So
yeah, no,
he's
no,
insane.
it's not like
He's
he
insane.
like had full remorse towards it.
He's
I think he
obviously
just realized
he would
it's
do it
like, damn, dude,
again.
that's crazy.
He realized,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy. I did all that.
yeah, pretty much. That was his
I mean,
version
this
of
motherfucker
remorse.
walked by a mannequin in a window, broke it out, and took it home, and was fucking it till his grandma made him throw it away.
He was crazy. Yeah.
No, Gam Gam, it's mine.
Gam, it's fine. It is my friend. I'm
Do you,
not fucking it. I'm dressing it up.
do you see his abs? So nice.
It smells like stale salt. Get it out of here.
I know what that smell is, because Gram used to be part of Bukakis.
You think I didn't know? They used to leave that smell on my upper lip. I think we covered this. I think we covered this
We did
pretty
too.
like
well.
like drinking a glass of milk, like it just leaves a milk mustache, like a cum stash.
Fucking stash. You know how many people I fucked Freddie Mercury? Oh my god, Grandma used to say this all the time. It was great. He thought I was a man. This mustache right here.
You know,
I
cum's
found
good
it
for
before
stretch
the
marks.
metapods.
I'm
Alright.
an oversized
There
clit.
was a
Yes,
circus
Grandma.
lady.
Oversized clit looked like a dick. Freddie Mercury liked it. We
All right,
get it.
fellas. Well,
All right.
I'll see
Well,
you all later.
I'll
we did
see you
what?
guys later.
Sign off. Boy.
We got some good shit coming. In my pants. All right, boys. Bye.
Bye.